Hello, 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 you beautiful, beautiful souls. Welcome to Magical Mondays. Are you feeling magical today? Hopefully, you had a magical weekend. Cheers. I'm sipping on some tea this morning. It's called hibiscus mint. Absolutely delicious. It's actually, I forgot where it's from. I have to go get the bag. I've had it for quite a while, actually, but it's delicious. So, hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Magical Mondays, where we stop, take a breath, and feel the magic of our lives in positivity. So, welcome, welcome. I did my nails today. I did my nails this morning. This is why I don't do my nails, though, because these are already all jacked up. They're so messed up. Look at that one. Look at that's new. That's a new painted nail right there. Yep, that's why I don't do this. But hey, you know what? They look good for about 30 seconds. You know what really counts is the toenails. Those are the ones that stay. I usually can like get away with the color on the toes for quite a long time. Isn't that weird though? Like it's a weird thing to have to. I know it's totally off subject, not magical in any way. Maybe it is magical. Why does nail polish last on toenails so much longer than on nails? Because we use our fingers probably a lot more, and they're probably maybe a lot more oily. But I digress. Let's dive into the magic that is our lives. So, what did we do magical this weekend? I crocheted some really awesome things this weekend. I'm working on a hat right now. It's unfinished. It is an alien hat. My husband has two of them, and my son wants one. So I'm busy doing that. I created a plant hanger for an order. I have to finish it, but I did create an extra long one at that. Somebody ordered a nice big long plant hanger. So it's real, pretty basic, but they wanted some beads and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and get this stiffened up today so that I can send it out to her. So that's pretty magical. The way that you can crochet and knit and create things from your own two hands, that to me is pretty fucking magical, is it not? Yeah, it is. And then I went ahead and I've had this sugar and cream scrub off yarn for a while. It was one of those like, let me try this type of buys, right? So I made some dishcloths. So it has like this little scrubbiness to it on part of the yarn, which is a lot of fun. It's all cotton, so like super duper water soluble, washable, and all that good stuff. But I like how we have a little bit of a scrubby thing going on some of the washcloths. So they're definitely all different sizes. Like I was not paying attention to making, I was just like square. Well, they turned into 4 different sizes of squares. So they might go on my shop um, as a set of 4 um, washable, reusable dishcloths with a little bit of scrubby in them. We'll have to invest in some more yarn before we do that. But I actually already did have an interest from one of my friends on Facebook when I was posting a picture of this is what I'm doing today. She's like, hey, I seen a message. I still have to reply to the message, but I seen it this morning. But I was doing other things. So had an interest on how much. And I'm like, would anybody be interested in these? And I guess maybe so. See, it's so weird. I make things I make things based on what I'm interested in. So, and I realize that I'm not, a tell all, see all, know all of everyone. So it's like I think of things that I would maybe be interested in, but I totally like when it comes to things like this and I get questioned about it, I'm like, really? Okay, sure. I could do that. So it takes me off guard sometimes. So I got to like expand my thought process on what people may or may not like. But I'm pretty witchy, pretty eclectic, pretty um hippie, so I'm definitely going to go towards more the boho hippie thing. And yeah, so washcloths they were for the home, but I might make them for the store. We'll see. We shall see. But I was very happy with the way they came out. I haven't used them yet, but I'll be using them today. I got to do dishes earlier. So, or earlier, later, forward tense, not past tense. So we'll try it. See how they work. I think they're cute. I like them. I think I like the yarn that it's an all-in-one scrubby, so you don't have to get a different set of scrubby type of yarn to intermingle with your other yarn. So you get like, your scrub spots. Anyway, I digress. So that was something that I did this weekend. I created something. Did you create anything? How about my creators out there? I've got a lot of creators out there now, I think. A lot of them on my Facebook, friends that crochet that I didn't know crocheted, and they're posting pictures, and I'm like, oh my God, you crochet too? And it's pretty cool. I like to see it. So eventually I'll get out of my hyper crochet addiction and start on my other crafts that I want to do, which is, wire wrapping, around nice big stones and beadwork and doing like little trinkets and accessories, because I can't talk, accessories and things like that. Good morning, Nova. Hello, Annie. I have those spirit animal cards too. Any tips? Oh, the spirit. Oh, yes. Oh, I love these. Are you still here, Nova? I don't know. I said Nova. I love your name, by the way. Yes, I love these too. I've had these for quite a while. I actually, last Magical Monday, I did our readings on 3 different cards. I try to pick 3 different cards, oracle cards, and these are the ones I did last Monday. So maybe considering bye, honey, I love you. Drive safe. Considering you questioned them, maybe I'll add them into the decks today as well. But yes, I do love these animal spirit cards. And I do guidebooks, and I also do intuitive lookings at, the card in itself. But what I love, honestly, about these is the artistry. Much less like, I'm sorry, but I'm a sucker for holographics. Like, you do something cool like this, and I'm going to be like, ding! I want it. It's a thing. Visual aesthetics are very nice to the eye, and I like to have them all around me. So yeah, the spirit animal cards I absolutely love because their art is simple, yet it's striking. I don't know. This is one of the cards that we had last week, actually, dear, because it's on the top. I remember it, and I hadn't shuffled since then. There's a buffalo, and they go by the signs, right? So, in regards to any tips for using them, I really just, I do random oracle card drawings anyway. So that's just how I use them generally, for myself, for others, for lives, for things like that. So, but it is definitely one of my favorites. We'll keep this handy and use it later, I think. See, I painted my nails today. It's still out. I forgot to put them away. Whoopsie daisy. Okay. The water. Yes. See, it's got such a different type of art to it. And I think that's why it's just drawn me to it. And there's a lot of different animal spirit types of decks out there. They've got tarot cards. They've got, actually, one of the things, I had to return it because my hands weren't working with it right. Is I ended up ordering quite a while back. They had round ones. They had round cards, and I don't remember what they're called exactly, but they're beautiful cards. Freaking loved them. But I can't shuffle with round cards. Like, just couldn't do it. Like, I was just all, it wasn't working. It was not working out for my hands. And it was actually starting to frustrate me, which, clearly we don't want that when we're trying to have good positive energy come through the cards. That's not okay. We don't want the cards to frustrate you. So I actually sent them because I was just like, as beautiful as they are, it'd be more of a hang them on the wall thing than feeling them thing. So yeah, so we decided not to play with those ones anymore. You're welcome. Well, I am excited for you to be here too, Nova. Super excited. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you found me. I've been around for a while, but I've taken a break. If you're on YouTube, give me a shout. Let me know where you're coming from, because I'm on a few different platforms right now. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Facebook, both my profile and my page. And where else am I? Oh yeah, YouTube. Is that it? I don't remember. Anyway, I'm in a few different places right now. So please let me know where you're at and where you're coming in at. But Nova, yes, on YouTube. I've been here and now I'm starting to make my way back slowly but surely. I've had some like blockages in my life, and I needed to kind of revamp some things and revamp me, if you will. So yeah, so today let's talk magic. Again, I want to hear what you did magical this weekend. I made some things because I'm like hyper into crochet. Like I said, I made some dishcloths. I made a plant hanger that was ordered that I'm going to finish today. Yay, super long. Woo. And yeah, and we're going to get into some more magic. I am a book lover. I am a card lover. So all my magic comes from my books and my cards. And I dive in to see all of this awesome stuff. So some of these awesome little magic tidbits that are definitely coming from books, because I love to share these types of things. Yeah. Cheers, my sister. Bella in the house. How you doing, darling? Good to see you. All right, so first we're going to do the daily book of Celtic lore. So it's a little dirty. Clearly, this was a thrift store find. And most of my books, well, I can't say most of them, no. Lately, my books have been thrift store finds. But again, I'm kind of a book hoard. I'm kind of a card hoard. So it's hard for me to like go peruse through Amazon or anywhere like that and not really want to buy something like that. But I've been really good in the last few years because I have plenty. And I haven't been playing with them as much as I should anyway. And now we start again. So today, this is going by dates, the Celtic lore book. Now, clearly, I don't do this every day. This is a magical Monday, but today is the 26th. So let's find out what the 26th says. These are basically old wives' tales, not that, and like sayings that you live by, kind of things for the Celtic lore book. So on February 26th, a borrowed saw cuts anything. That's an Irish saying. A borrowed saw cuts anything. So what does that mean to you? Interesting. Oh, and February 25th. See, this is how fun it is. And on the 25th, it gave a recipe for scones. If you want to make some scones. Now, all of this stuff are things that we do not eat in this house. So I'm not exactly promoting this recipe, but here it is if you want to try it. We are plant-based in this house. We do not do we only do whole wheat, whole grain things. We do not eat any butter. And our oils are olive oils and avocado oil. So it's like, we're very, very, very particular in this house now, for health reasons. But here is a fun little recipe for scones if you wanted to try it. 2 cups self-rising flour, 3 tablespoons butter, a ½ cup milk, and a pinch of salt. That clearly is your basic recipe, and you could probably add here or there as you want. So yeah, that is pretty cool. So give yourself a screenshot if you want an Irish recipe, scone recipe. An Irish scone recipe. Pretty cool. I like it. I'm digging it. All right, let's go to, we're going to backtrack into January because why not? We're going to say a couple of these since we're only here once a week for Magic Mondays. Magical Mondays. Not magic, it's magical. Every time I say Magic Mondays, it reminds me of those movies, Magic Mike. Raise your hand if you saw Magic Mike's. I didn't see any of them. I didn't see either of them, rather. How many are there? Is there 1 or 2 or 3? I don't know. But it was funny because my husband was joking around with me a couple weeks ago or whenever. And he's like, oh, yeah, like something about all the women have seen that. And I'm like, I haven't. Like, I had absolutely zero interest in seeing that. I really didn't care. I was like, oh, that's nice. Just a different kind of witch, I guess. I don't know. January 4th, on the green banks of Shannon, when Sheila was nigh, no blithe Irish lad was so happy as I. No harp like my own could so cheerily play, and wherever I went was my poor dog Tray. The Harper, from Thomas Campbell, a Celtic quotation. So that was cute. I like that one. So we're going to go through just a couple of these each time we do Magical Mondays. Let's see what we have in our happiness. Happiness. The language of happiness. I do random flips because I feel like that's where the magic comes in. This is where the magic is, where it wants you to read, right? Philosophy of happiness. I have never given very deep thought to a philosophy of life, though I have a few ideas that I think are useful to me. One is that you do whatever comes your way to do as well as you can. And another is that you think as little as possible about yourself and as much as possible about other people and about things that are interesting. The third is that you get more joy out of giving joy to others and should put a good deal of thought into the happiness that you are able to give. Now that is thought-provoking, is it not? Here's a couple more on the next page. Be glad of life because it gives you the chance to love and to work and to play and to look up at the stars. Embrace your life. You have one. You have one life. Make the most of it. Enjoy what is in front of you. Don't take everything for granted. We take a lot for granted on a daily basis. We wake up in our soft, comfortable bed. We take our soft, comfortable bed for granted. We take the sleep that we had for granted. We take the warm house that we have for granted in the cold winter months, because that's where I'm at. I'm in the cold winter months. There's so much we take for granted, so much, because we're living in an age that this stuff is just normal. It's just normal. Think of how it was way back when shit was not normal like this. Man, we got a lot to be thankful for, don't we? The grand essentials to happiness in this life are something to do, something to love, and something to hope for. Oh, I like that one. The grand essentials to happiness in this life are something to do, something to love, and something to hope for. So what is something that you do? What is something that you love? And what is something that you hope for? I would love to hear it if you'd like to share. For me, let's see, something I do. I loved crafts. I love crafting with my hands. I'm always doing something with my hands, whether it be putzing and cleaning or this or that, or feng shuiing my home. Yes, I do that. I move shit around all the time. It drives my husband nuts. But I'm a rearranger. Like, I got to keep it zen. I got to keep it cool. I got to keep it clean. I got to keep it, I got to be able to breathe cool and chill, right? Like, that's a thing. It's a fucking thing. It's a self-care thing. So I do things, and and it makes me happy to do things. And you know what? I think that is the Virgo in me. So we all have different aspects of our star signs and different houses and this, that, and the other. I am a Virgo moon, and your moon is kind of your deep down, this is like core kind of your emotional state, who you are, and your emotional and, your underneath, if you will, things like that. Yeah, somebody else on that window over here. Oh, I see. Okay. Anyway. So, yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, something to do. Something to do. Something to love. So, we all love something. We all love something. There's probably somebody we love. I love my husband very much. I love my cards. I love my books. I love my yarn now because I'm hyper crocheter. Like, give me that yarn. Like things that we love, right? There's something to love. I love the world. I love nature. I love the sky. My husband is a Moony. Moony, Moony. He loves the moon. I'm a sun goddess. I love the sun. I love the moon too. Don't get me wrong. I love the moon. But I'm more of a sun girl. Like I love the sun. So we all have our different loves and the loves that we bring together. So yes, absolutely. We have something to love. It's a grand essential in life and something to hope for. My God, if we have no hope for something, then what is there to live for? You know, like we hope for a better life. We hope for a better future, a better health. I hope for a better garden this year. I'm hoping for really beautiful big plants with fruitful harvests, you know, like we all have something to hope for. The grand essentials to happiness in this life are something to do, something to love, and something to hope for. I love that. I had to dive deep on that one because that was a really, really cool one. So hopefully I didn't bore y'all half to death on going deep into just one little thing. But I thought that was a good one. Cheers, Nat RG. I love to work with my hands. I love crocheting, sewing, baking, gardening, anything that is with my hands. I'm a Scorpio, cusp of a Sagittarius. Ah, okay. I actually have a stellium of Scorpio in my chart. It's not in any of my main houses or signs, but I definitely have some Scorpio in my chart too. I'm aware of Scorpio energy. Activism, and you do all the things that I love. So my husband is the if I could say it, he's the kitchen wizard. So like I am the house witch, right? I'm like the whole thing, but his domain is the kitchen. He loves cooking. I'm not the cook. I'm just not. I did it for my son in a previous life for a really long time in my previous family, and you know, and like it was it was one of those things I felt that I had to do because I was the mom and I was, you know, I had to get it all ready, right? Well, my husband cooks now. I got lucky. I got lucky real awesomely. That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, it's what it is. I like that title, kitchen. He is my kitchen wizard, and he actually on his channel, he has a channel called Twisted Roots, and that's his social name. He is Twisted, and he's gonna start doing his kitchen cooking because, like I said, we're plant based here for health reasons. We have had to do a entirely huge lifestyle change because he had a heart attack, and we can now have no meat, no fat, no like you know the triglycerides, like no white, you know, enriched and all the crap that we eat so much. So we limit ourselves significantly, and he is the cook. He makes these meals that you would never believe are plant-based. They're amazing. He's a wizard for sure. So anyway, I digress again. Time to take some tea. Let's take a break, clear our windpipes so we can talk some more. Have some tea. Yummy. See, that is one of my magical properties. I think one of my magic, how do I say it? I'm highly magical when it comes to making tea. This is actually from a package. It is a pre-bought package, but or pre-packaged bought, whatever. But I harvest all of my natural ingredients out in my yard. I have mullein, I have strawberry leaves, raspberry leaves, chamomile, I do buy the lavender because I can't seem to grow lavender in a very large capacity. Mints, all kinds of mints, spearmint, peppermint, all those mints. Got yarrow. There's just so much that I have in my backyard that is amazing. And I harvest and I dry, and I have jars upon jars upon jars of all of my herbals. And I make my tea out of them. And stevia, let me just say, if you want to make your own tea and you have a bit of a sweet tooth, so you need that sweetness, whether it be honey or whatever, let me just say, get you some stevia. Get you a stevia plant. I actually have a stevia plant that I bought a couple years ago, and I've brought it in for the last 2 winters. This is the second winter, and she still is alive, barely. She barely makes it through winter. I don't harvest from her, but her roots are inside, so she's going to grow again in the summer. But get you some stevia and dry stevia, because stevia, you would not believe how sweet this herb is. It's crazy. It is so crazy how sweet it is. And my husband even admits, like, when I create a tea mix, it's almost like drinking Kool-Aid. It's just so yummy and so full of flavor and sweet. He loves this sweet. Like, that's one of the big things that big changes in our household, is cutting out our sugar. And he loved his sugar. Oh, did he love his sugar? But now he's like, oh my God, it's so sweet, because he doesn't really eat the sugar anymore. It's pretty wild how that happens, isn't it? All right, let's move on to our next magical little thing. Treasured poems to touch the heart. See, we're touching the heart today in positivity. Magic. Okay, let's see. What do we want to hear today? The House on the Hill. Let's see what this is. Oh, the House on the Hill. They are all gone away. The house is shut and still. There is nothing more to say. Through broken walls and gray, the wind blow bleak and shrill. There, they are all gone away. Nor is there one today to speak them good or ill. There is nothing more to say. Why is it then we stray around that sunken sill? They are all gone away. And our poor fancy play for them is wasted skill. There is nothing more to say. There is ruin and decay in the house on the hill. They are all gone away. There is nothing more to say. That one was a little like, this one's about watching as time fades and things kind of dissipate and rot away, I think. House is shut and still. There's nothing more to say. Broken walls and gray. The winds blow bleak and shrill. Why is it then we stray around that sunken sill? See, there's that question in there. They are all gone away. Interesting poem. That's also thought-provoking. Some randomness in there, huh? How do you harvest stevia? I just cut. Okay, so I'm an old-fashioned harvester. I cut, I don't do individual leaves at all, because I don't know. I just don't. You can take individual leaves and lay them on something flat. I have a dehydrator. I just got it last year. So how I was doing it before my dehydrator, I was actually leaving it out on like a cookie rack. I was leaving them out to dry for like ever on a cookie rack. And like, it's just taking up way too much space for so long in my kitchen to dry these things. I invested in a dehydrator. But I will generally, with all of my plants, I will generally snip, the full, healthy stems that are full of leaves. I will cut the stem and hang them to dry from the stem, like in a bunch, right? I do the old-fashioned hang. So I will do that for a lot of things. And then if I have an overabundance or, something different, then I'll put them in my dehydrator. So yeah. Hello, Brianna. It's so good to see you. How are you? Welcome to Magical Mondays. So there's a couple of different ways to harvest stevia. If you want to just cut the branch or cut the stem from the stevia, hang it upside down and let it dry that way. Or you can take the leaves individually and lay them flat on something that, has a screen or something like that so that it has the airflow. Airflow is important. It's important. So let's talk a little bit about the full moon. We have a full moon. We are in full moon energy right now. So the February full moon was in Virgo. Okay. It was on Friday, the 26th. No, Friday was not the 26th. Today's the 26th. My days are all screwed up. The full moon was on Friday. You're very welcome, Nat. So the full moon was on Friday. And remember that our full moon energies are active, if you will, for 3 days before the full moon and 3 days after the full moon. So you're going to kind of feel these full moon effects with you in kind of a roller coaster effect, I think. They'll can kind of come in and then they'll peak and then they'll kind of go out again, right? Thank you. Thank you, Brianna. It was the 23rd. Friday was the 23rd. Yeah. So the full moon was on the 23rd/24th, and that kind of thing. So again, this full moon was in Virgo, and generally full moons just are an abundance, right? It's the way I see the full moon. I see that as kind of like the mother moon, if you will, instead of Mother Earth. Let's say Mother Moon. You manifest and you create in a new moon, and it kind of like the energy builds. It reminds me of like a pregnancy, if you will. So the energy builds and gets bigger and bigger and bigger into the full moon. The full moon is where things just kind of explode for you in this energy, and it's a beautiful abundance. And that's why some people, a little bit of crazy on the full moon, because maybe they got too much abundance going on. It's all like, funny enough, I am exhausted on the full moon. So I sleep like forever. I just continue to sleep like umpteen hours. It's weird. I know it's weird, but I get really tired around the full moon. So our full moon is an abundance, and you feel the abundance. You feel sometimes, you need to bring those feelings into balance. And that's why we do our meditations and our rituals on the full moon, to make sure that we're keeping in balance with things, right? Randy, hello. How are you? I will. He might pop in and you might be able to see him in here. My uncle just stopped in. Hello. How are you? So good to see you. So again, the moon was in Virgo. So when we look at the different astrological signs that the moon falls into, when we look at our witchiness and what does the moon mean this month and things like that, you look at the sign that it falls into. This one was Virgo. So when we think of that, what is Virgo? What is Virgo? What kind of a sign does Virgo, tend to be, along those lines? So like I said, I'm a Virgo moon. So this moon is going to be a little bit more, I think, like Virgo is about detail. Virgo is, we definitely pay attention to the little things. Okay. It's, making sure things are on point, or, and honestly, side note, the older you get, and this is because I'm a Virgo moon, the older you get, the more moon sign you feel of yourself, right? So in my upper 40s now, that's weird to say, mid 40s. We're going to say mid 40s because it sounds a little bit better. I feel more of my moon than my sun. I'm a Libra sun and a Virgo moon. So I definitely feel more of my moon coming into play. Like my sun is who we are. The sun is who we are. I am still a Libra, and I will always be a Libra. But more and more my moon comes out, my Virgo-ness, because I'm like, I'm a putzer. I'm tedious. Like I like to do things for people and make sure things are, It's a little bit of a perfectionist streak, if you will. So when it comes to the full moon energy, you might see yourself looking at the smaller details of things. You might see yourself looking at the bigger picture, but what needs to be done to, all these little things that need to be done or that you need to pay attention to. You're just paying attention to these smaller things more around this time, maybe. So this moon was called the snow moon, probably for reasons at least in the northern hemisphere that we're very aware of. It is quite wintry out. And the reason why it's called the snow moon is because it is reflective on the snow on the ground. So it's going to be reflecting the snow. This is a big snow time. It's also been called the hunger moon. And now these names come from your ancient Native Americans and your ancient tribes across the land and different lands that corresponded these things to what was happening on the earth at the time and in their lives at the time. So when we think about February, especially the northern hemisphere, we're kind of in the dead of winter. We are ready for spring to happen because we've had enough. So the snow moon is reflecting that snow. The hunger moon is reflecting that very big possibility of starving right now because maybe your harvests have started to be, back in the day, maybe your harvest has started to be depleted and you're starting to be like, oh, yeah, hope spring comes around soon because we ain't got much left to eat, things like that. So it's called the hunger moon. And it also, fun fact, it's called the micro moon this month because it is actually the furthest that is away from the sun this month. It's going to be, for the year or whatever. So it's all called, it's also called the micro moon because of that. It's furthest from the earth. So we have a few different moon names this month. There usually is few different names because you're not going to have the same one in all areas, right? People are going to call it different things. So if you know of another moon that is February full moon of what it's called besides those basically two, the micro moon is more of a distance thing, but the snow moon and the hunger moon, please feel free to share your knowledge. I love it. Share away. So again, it's, the full moon is about the purity, the renewal, the potential of new beginnings, the birthing of the abundance of the energy that is the full moon, right? And the full moon in Virgo is paying attention to these tiny details that are happening more so in this experience of renewal. You're looking at the details more, I think. So I think that's importante to remember your energies. And again, the energies are 3 days prior, 3 days after. So you're going to feel these, ebbing and flowing throughout until, kind of dissipates into going into the new moon more so. So yeah. Another thing that is important to mention right now is the fact that gardening. So it's February. And again, like I've already said it a couple of times, we're waiting for spring now. It's cold and we're done. We're done with winter. We want spring to happen. We want our gardening to begin. We want to start planting and start growing and start harvesting again because it could be the hunger moon and we need some food. So let's talk about gardening. Let's talk about that. From the full moon on, and now this is something that we'll probably get into on our other channel a lot more so in the future, but I'm just going to do a little tidbit here for now because we're talking about full moon energy, is planting on the full moon. This is something that was followed in, I don't want to say agriculture because that's not really the right word to use for how people lived, so many years ago without our industrial age. But the moon is a very important source of energy for plants as well. And when we plant things, transplant things, or even take cuttings of things on a full moon, that full moon energy, that abundance, that magnetism. I mean, it's clearly, if you're not aware by now that the moon affects the earth and the waves and the water and even us as human beings and our energy fluxes, then where have you been? What planet are you living on? Because come on now, the earth absolutely affects plant growth and absolutely affects new seeds, new growth, new roots. It's the roots, the magnetism and the energy. And I can't even explain it because clearly I am no botanist. I am no, I don't have the knowledge to say exactly what this is and what it does. My husband actually could probably tell you more because he is the gardener, he is the planter, he is the grower of the trees, if you will, my twisted wizard. But this is a wonderful time if you have a garden, if you have a farm, if you have something that you want to get ready for your coming spring months, like for instance, tomatoes or brassicas, like, your cabbages and cauliflowers and this, that, things that kind of take a minute to get ripen, to ripen and harvest. Sometimes you want more than one harvest on things, and you might have to start things sooner than later. This month and next month, based on where you're at, is a really great time to start seeds indoors so that you can have nice big full plants to put out into the summer or spring in your area. So just wanted to say that. It was a very long-winded addition there, but don't forget that the full moon energy is wonderful for getting plants going, for getting your seed started, for transplanting your plants, as well as taking clippings of your plants and putting them, and propagating them and putting them in some water and making clones or making this or that or the other. So the full moon is a magical, magical thing. And don't you dare take it for granted because it gives you so much magic. So much magic. And you know what? I absolutely will admit, I do take the moon for granted. And I need to stop doing that. I need to stop doing that because, like I said, I'm more of the sun goddess than the moon goddess. I really, truly am. I love the moon, but give me the sun. So that is my goal for this year, is to absolutely be more grateful for everything, but the moon. The moon gives us so much magic. So much magic. All right, let's do some cards here. We're going to do, like I said, we're going to do the Animal Spirit deck. Okay. So we already decided to take this one out. I need to give myself a little bit more room here. Okay. Excusez-moi. So we have the animal. Well, that just cut me off. We don't need to go that far down. We have the animal. That's upside down. Animal Spirit. Love this deck because it's got so much cool trippiness to it. Okay, and let's see here. Let's do a crystal deck. Let's do this one. This is a fun one. The Crystal Spirits Oracle. This is a beautiful deck. Nice, pretty crystal pictures in it. I'll show you one, selenite. That light's a little too much. It's not even, you're not able to see the picture very well. So these are beautiful cards too. I'll give you a stone and the meaning of the stone, which is awesome. And we're going to do one more here. Let's do Nature's Whisper. This is just reminds me of, I don't know, I love the art on these. The art on these is just fantastic. So the back of the card is just as beautiful in my opinion. I'm a big butterfly lover. So this one just really spoke to me. And I'll just show one card here. It's that very beautiful intrinsic fantasy art. Like so pretty. So pretty. So we're going to do these 3 cards for our Magical Monday card reading. Yes, indeedy do. Real quick, before we do that, I'm going to clean them some of these. Oh, what was that? Hang on, guys. There we go. Had something come through. Before we do that, we're going to randomly pick a magical crystal out of here. So we have the Crystal Bible. Last week, I did Larimar, I believe it was. Beautiful green stone that had amazing health benefits to it. And I'm going to have to definitely get me some of that in the house. I don't think I have any of the house yet. So let's just randomly pick another crystal to find out about the magic of it. Ooh, that's interesting. Shattuckite. Shattuckite. That's different, huh? So let's read about that. The art reminds me of the movie What Dreams. Yes! Oh my gosh, that movie. Literally, I bawled my eyes out on that movie. This is why I don't watch dramas anymore, because I cry all the time. Like, I'm a crybaby. I'll cry to a commercial. Like, it's just a thing. I don't watch rom-coms. I don't watch dramas. I don't watch things that I just know I'm going to cry for the whole time. I don't enjoy that. That's not enjoyable to me. But that was an amazing Bible. You just said Bible, and I almost said that's an amazing Bible. That is an amazing, amazing movie. Amazing movie. Yeah, that's an amazing movie. Absolutely great. Has the book Crystal Bid. Oh, the Crystal Bible. This is a great book, but I actually did learn something. So a few years ago, I did a series in Witchy Weekends. And we went through a series for crystals, and several of us witches would choose a crystal to focus on, or a chakra to focus on, and the crystals for those chakras, things like that. And I actually found, even though this is a crystal Bible, not every crystal's in here. I have about 3 or 4 crystal books, and absolutely there are some in the others that are not in this one. I'm like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be a Bible. You're supposed to have everything in here, right? Well, it doesn't. There are some things missing. It's interesting. So anyway, let's read about Shattuckite. Interesting name, huh? So it is dark and light blue and turquoise for the color. The appearance is mottled, often small and tumbled. The rarity is obtainable from specialist stores. Interesting. Hang on, guys. Give me uno momento here. I need to see what's happening on this. I keep getting a phone call. No, that's not anything I want. Okay, gotta call that back. Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what that was, but it was messing up my shit. It was messing up my shit, man. What up, Looney? How you doing? Aloha. I'm an energy that attracts crystals like a magnet. And you know what? So is Twisted. So is my husband. He really does. He just is like boop, boop, boop. He finds stuff all the time. All the time. I more attract random items of magic. Like not always a crystal. It could be a bone. It could be a special something or other, like just whatever. It's just nature in general. I'll just be like, oh, that's different. Look at that. Like not yesterday, about a week or so ago. Let me grab it real quick. We went out walking. And on the way back to the house, I was able to find this really beautiful antler that just popped right the fuck off a deer that crossed the road. And I was like, oh, look at that. It's an antler. So, these are the things that I tend to get drawn to. Like, it's like, what's over there? Oh, I see something over there. What is it? It's a random thing. But I thought this was a really, really, this was left for me, gifted to me by the deer, by Mother Nature, and I treasure it. Absolutely. This is my first antler find. So I was very, very cool. That was very cool. But really, yeah. Okay, what were we saying? Shattuckite. The source is United States. So obtainable from specialist stores, source United States. Interesting. So let's take a look at this again. Will this light help or not? I wonder if it'll just shine on it stupidly. And kind of. It's got a little bit more of a sheen on there. So it's got that mottled look, dark to light blue to turquoise. Shattuckite. It's pretty rock, pretty stone. So the attributes, if I can talk right, the attributes of Shattuckite is a highly spiritual stone that heightens vibration. It stimulates the third eye and the throat chakra, bringing them into harmony and alignment. Ooh, great stone. It brings clear psychic vision and aids in understanding and communicating what is seen, particularly useful in cases where past life experience has closed down metaphysical abilities. You know what? I feel like that's me. I literally just resonated with that statement right there. Shattuckite removes hypnotic commands and edicts against using psychic vision. It can clear past life curses and commands to secrecy. Shattuckite is helpful during channeling as it is strongly protective, ensuring that the entity does not take over the physical body. It reaches a high vibration, ensuring that the purest source is contacted. It can be used to develop psychic abilities such as automatic writing and telepathy, and to facilitate clear communication with extraterrestrials. Healing. Shattuckite is beneficial for all minor health complaints, bringing the body gently back into balance. The elixir is useful as a general tonic, especially in the spring. The stone treats tonsillitis, increases the clotting properties of blood, and clears blockages from intercellular structures. Okay. Position, place as appropriate. So basically, that can kind of go anywhere you need. Oh, I like this stone. Okay, see, I'm going to love every stone, obviously, we go over, because who doesn't? Who's not? Crystal lovers, stone lovers, rock hounders. Come on, you get it. You get me. That's a beautiful one. I love it. Shattuckite. Very cool. I made a sick pipe out of a similar deer antler I found. Busted it. Oh, shoot. Dad was proud of my pipe, but bummed I got caught. Do you still have it, or did the school take it? Because, man, that would be really cool. Really cool. Hi, babe. What?
No, so it used to be $40.
Yeah.
And I knew the lady, and I was like, "Oh yeah, how much are these? I'd like to get one. I'll tell my wife about it, see if she wants to buy one for me." And he's like, no, they're free. I'm like,
What?
They're like, yeah, the lady went out of business. I'm like, what? I know her. She's from the craft place over there.
Oh, she went out of business?
Yep.
Oh my God, this is gorgeous.
Isn't that dope?
No way.
So I found 3 coins.
Look at what he came home with. Oh, this is gorgeous. You got to put this on your wall, baby.
I know.
This is so amazing. My husband is a Marine. He's a veteran.
Sorry to interrupt.
Thank you for your service, my love.
Oh,
Oh my
you're
God,
welcome.
I love it. I love it. That looks so gorgeous. Oh, yay. Looney says hello.
What up, Louis?
He's in here. He's getting the magic on.
Oh, get that magic on.
Oh, he just said too that I just showed my antler that I found a few weeks ago when we were walking. Looney said that he was in high school. He made a pipe out of one in shop class. He was busted for it, but his dad was pretty proud of it.
I always tell my high school shop class pipe and bong build. I always got busted. It was my wrestling coach.
Yeah.
And he would always be like, Bird, you know you can't. You're a wrestler. You can't. You're too young. And everything's wrong about this. For all the years, from 8th grade all the way to like 11th grade, I would get in trouble for making pipes. Every time they were like, so we're going to be working with metal and lathes today. I'm like,
heck
I'm
yeah.
going to lathe me a pipe. Every time. That was first thought. I'm going
I
to make
love
a bong.
That's
They were
amazing.
making baseball bats. I made a bong. It looked like a baseball bat, but it was a bong.
Too funny. All right, let's get these cards in here and we'll wrap up our Magical Mondays. 7 a.m. in Looney's world. He is in Hawaii. Aloha. Aloha. Thank you for your service from Nat RG.
You're welcome. Thank you. You're welcome.
Looney has that stone. Oh, so we just went over a stone called Shattuckite, and he has this stone.
Right.
Love that. Excellent. Yeah. I want some. I want one of those stones for sure. Okay. We're going to do a card from Animal Spirit first. Okay. So these are general readings, general messages from the universe we bring in. So if there's anything that resonates with you, take it. If it doesn't resonate with you, then it probably wasn't meant for you today, and that's okay. Sometimes you get one resonates and sometimes the other doesn't. A lot of times these cards tell a story and tie into each other. So that's a lot of fun when that happens. Last week that happened pretty well. It was pretty awesome. You want a hammer and a nail? Okay, so today is Monday, Magical Monday, February 26th. What does the universe have for a message for us today, this Magical Monday? Gotta run. Cheers, Looney. Have a good one. I'm sure Twisted will probably be live pretty soon on one of his channels. Okay. Tell us what you have to tell us. Show us what you have to tell us from the universe today. There it is. There it is. So from the Animal Spirit deck, we have a raccoon. We have a raccoon. Interestingly, we don't have a whole lot of color, if any, on this card. The raccoon. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and draw each one of them, and then we'll talk about them. Let's see, we're going to go ahead and do Nature's Whispers. Nature's Whispers. Nature's Whispers. What is our message today from you and the universe? These cards just gave me chills, so I feel like they're ready to talk. Ooh, my goodness. Have I kept you in your box too long? For the masses. Your magical Monday message for the masses. From Nature's Whisper. Whoa. She gave me so much energy at first. Now she doesn't want to talk to me. We're going to take that peeker. I didn't have a fly out, but I had a peeker. Open your heart. That's a beautiful one. All right, let's go for the crystals. Coffee music. Hello, sweetheart. Michiganja Misfits. Thule. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. This is the Crystal Spirits Oracle. We're going to go ahead and draw one out of here. And that'll be our 3-card message for the day that we'll dive into and see what they say. Okay, Crystal Spirit. What do you have to tell us today? Well, okay, we'll go ahead and keep you. Let's see if there's another one. One more time. Okay, that first one was it. And that is an interesting card. It is called Numite. Numite. It's a very dark stone, clearly. I don't think I've heard of this one. All right, let's dive in. We have 3 different cards to read about today. So our raccoon, for starters. Okay, we have the alchemy symbol for earth, okay, here. And we are going, there we go. We have the raccoon. Talented, shadowy, and in hiding, okay? So if this resonates with something that's going on in your life, or any of the cards, or the cards all at once. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue surrounding self-image and success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in an artist's favor. Other times it limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego, fear, is resolved. When in balance, you are a generous friend and exceptional artist. When you are out of balance, you are competitive and a starving artist. To bring it back into balance, You want to make new work. Okay, so this is very interesting for those of us who create. I am a creator of many different things. Like I say before, I am very hyper into crochet right now, hyper fixated on crochet. So the interesting of wearing a mask, because, this is a very interesting card for today. Interesting. Let's see how the others tie in with it. So we have Open Your Heart, card number 10. Okay. Numbers also mean something. So if 10 is something that, transcends into you somehow, some way, take note of that, right? Open your heart. Gorgeous cards. Let me get a little closer here. All right, let's see what this has to say. The truth of our world, nature, and environment is love. This is eternal love that makes no demands, has no expectations, and does not place limits or conditions on us. There is an opportunity for each and every person to experience love at this deepest level if they are willing to be open. Love can and will flow into your heart, but only if you allow it. It will change your perception, nurture and hold you, and even give you the strength to endure hardship. Take a moment, open your heart, and allow love to bring you joy, serenity, renewed energy, passion, and total unrelenting happiness. Okay, this actually ties into some of the things that we read about in the beginning of the show with what brings happiness, right? Joy, not taking things for granted. Interesting. That definitely tied into what's going on today, I think. Does that resonate with you? Are you needing to open up your heart to feel all the joy that really is in front of you, that wants to just come into your life? Are you blocking it somehow? Maybe you need to do some new works, some new artistic works. All right, Numite. Let's see what this crystal is trying to tell us. Number 38. Numite. Numite. Essential meaning of Numite: achieving self-mastery, inner power, recovering your sense of self. Okay, this goes into the raccoon with the shadow self. Already, I'm seeing the tie-in here, that you're needing to kind of shake some stuff off, right? Evidence of progress can seem elusive at times, but when Numite spirit appears, it is a sign that you might be underestimating how far you have come. Our minds are conditioned to pay attention to the negative and overlook all that is good in our lives, including the results of our efforts over time. You may not have received a big blue ribbon or parade in your honor, but the conscious universe acknowledges and celebrates all your hard work mastering your fears. Make peace with the part of yourself that tells you that whatever you do, it will never be enough. You are developing mastery, and there will be times when you feel as if your progress is slow and inadequate, but you are called now to acknowledge that you have indeed persevered, learned much, and not given up. Doing so will help you to stay the course rather than veer off track. Be gentle with yourself as you master the challenges you always seem to overcome somehow. You are getting better at this thing called life, at building healthy relationships and prosperity, and at knowing and loving yourself as much as the conscious universe does. Give yourself credit and keep practicing. We are all learning, and Numite Spirit is here to tell you that the conscious universe is watching and is so very proud of you. A relationship message. When it comes to your relationships with others, building trust and intimacy is a process. Practice leads to results. For repetition develops skills. Just as you engage in a dance with a partner, turn the page, leading and following, stay present in the moment, listening to the signals and cues and being clear about what you need and desire. Yes, toes will get stepped on here and there, but it's how you and your partner deal with inevitable missteps that allows you to develop a closeness that can stand up to even the biggest challenges. Practice, practice, practice. And soon it will be second nature to express yourself in relationships in ways that reflect your highest aspirations for how you want to show up for the others and what you want to experience. Cultivate love through practicing being loving. Your prosperity message. Dig into the earth and you will soon realize that layers upon layers of soil and rock have built up over time. And this is a lesson for how to build a foundation in the material world to help you feel more secure. Your true prosperity will always lie in your relationship with the conscious universe, your co-creator. Newmite Spirit is here to remind you that outer conditions will soon begin to reflect your intention to own your natural abundance. But you must practice the art of building wealth, which might feel unfamiliar and uncomfortable to you. Take time today to honor yourself for how far you have come and the discipline you have shown in methodically working to master your fears about not having enough and about not being up to the task of wealth building. Abundance within, abundance without is what the conscious universe wants for you. You are getting there incrementally each time you commit to practice and consciously repeat the actions you know are healthy and in alignment with abundance. Mastery arises from conscious repetition. So know what you need to do and do it. The conscious universe is with you. So, Newmite is basically telling us that it's giving us our inner power. It's helping us clear our shadow, our what's holding us back, right? So I don't know. This is like interesting that everything kind of came together again this magical Monday, because it's just magic, is it not? We talked about the full moon and the abundance of it, and it being in Virgo, and how you got to you're going to pay attention to the details with Virgo a little bit more, right? And then we talked about some sayings that we did, specifically, really the language of happiness. We had one in here that went through the joy of happiness. What brings you, your joy, the joy of love, the joy of doing, and the joy of hope, right? So all of these cards really tied in with this as well. Your raccoon energy, your talented shadow in hiding. Maybe you need to make some new work, make some new creative steps to unrust yourself, right? This is really awesome. I'm digging it. So we have a Newmite, we have a raccoon, and where did my other one go? Oh, here it is. And we have an open your heart to the environment. Let's not take things for granted. It all ties in interestingly today. It's not as in your face as it was last week, because last week it was like everything kind of led to the same thing. There's a lot of different tie-ins on this week. These are the little things, I think, kind of the moon and Virgo. These are all the little things that tie into holding you back that we need to pay attention to. I love it. Excellent. So, everybody, that was Magical Monday. I appreciate you joining me today. I am Amber Lalana. I'm a crafty hippie witch. I do all kinds of things on here. So if you want to get jiggy with it or get magical with it, join me on Monday. We do crochet stuff. We do arts and crafts stuff. We do witchy stuff. And we do all kinds of other things that, I haven't decided on yet. So hit that like, hit that subscribe, give me a follow, ring the bell if you so choose. And we'll see you on the flip side on the next live. And have a fan-frickin-tastic day. A magical day. Peace.